Okay, here it goes. And these weekly updates. Now I'm using the AirPod. Let me know in the comment if it is clearer or worse. I will go slow because, what's the rush? Today is Saturday and how's hockey? An old game, hey? And how's last Sunday? Where did you go after the whatever ball? Tomorrow I'm going to the library again, and then very likely we will have dinner together. Okay, let's get to the topic. It's a quick 10 minutes relaxation or mental exercise. That I'll hold your hand mentally and let's go through the exercise. See if we can clear some thoughts. Now you are in grade 11, in the midst of it, right? That's halfway of your second last term, I think. Yesterday, I was doing sketch. I didn't do it on purpose, but she was a grade 11 BSH student, and I didn't ask her name because I fear she may know you. But I did ask her nationality because I care about those things regarding the facial feature when I draw, and by now I have a pretty good clue about whether the person is from Espanol or from Scottish. I could tell. Yeah, so she was Australia, but after I drilled and keep saying, "Are you sure it's Australia?" And she yielded. Germany. So she's from German. So that's the great grandpa was German. Then her parents has been living in Australia forever, right? So she considered herself Australia forever, but actually German descendant. Interesting, because from face, she's not Aussie. And by the way, what's Aussie? England, right? England, a bit of Irish. Okay, this mental exercise, 10 minutes, that since you are in grade 11, right? Think about the subject you've been doing, right? Because whether you like or not, you spend a lot of time studying, right? A lot of time, maybe too much. To my standard, definitely too much. But since you've spent time, then think about two things I mentioned before. One, which subject or what kind of activity you feel most ease at, or it kind of time flies before you realize, or you do it almost feel like a breeze. Now no, everything feels hard, but relatively speaking, which one feels more ease, right? Which one you struggle the least? That's one. The other is that in the feedback of assessment or the scorecard, quite unexpectedly, you did quite well. You may not expect that because you didn't think you did well in assessment or examinations, but actually the result turned out better than you thought. So is there some pattern there? So recognize those things, right? No rush. When you relax, those answers should pop up quite naturally. So that's two things. Which one you feel like doing? The second is which one the feedback is better than you thought. And then to try to find and think through. And maybe you discover something. Now I don't know, but those are the direction you could look into when you contemplate the study, because that's where you spend most of your time and activity in the past, especially a couple of years, right? From grade 9, 10, and now. Next year, you won't study much, right? It's more about regurgitating. Okay, so that's one thing, right? The second thing is to think a bit about from the, like a helicopter view, right? For all of the future study or in the world of knowledge, there are two big branches, right? One is science, the other is called art or literature, or we call it humanities. Two. So science, there's pure science, or hard science, or applied science. The pure sciences, mathematics, physics. And you should know by heart, without anyone telling you, you should know, are you into it or not, right? So, okay, besides the pure science, there is applied science. What are they? They are biology, about human body, human biology, not marine biology, human biology, how body functions. And the other one is called earth science, or maybe geology, or in other words, how stars work. The stars include Earth and other planets, right? So that's the earth science, geology, the formation of rocks and weathers, meteorologies, these kind of things. So that's our all applied science. So use the statistics to understand the weather pattern and use programs such as Python or program R to analyze the data. Big data. Right. Okay, so these are all applied science. Okay, so science, we have the pure science and applied science. And then you have the literature. You have also the hard or pure and the applied. What's the hard and pure? Law, literature, writing, or philosophy. And you should know by heart straight away you are into it or not. And then you have applied, which would be social science. What's applied? Psychology, right? To deal with how all emotions are rooted, how deep and dark and dirty, and dream analysis. Yeah, psychology, right? So now I'm just talking through those things, right? And then let's move on to the third kind of areas where you can think about lightly, right? Think lightly. Is rather than think about, now I know you know more and more about, but rather than think about degrees, how long the degree, what are you gonna get, which are all important, or which university, or should I change the place or stay in Brisbane, right? Those are all important practical things which we can think about in the next phase. But now we think about what? About the essence of the study. Whether you do university, or whether you are going to do some online course, or whether you are collaborating with AI. what's the essence of learning, which should be really lifelong learning, which is knowledge and skill. Now, knowledge is becoming less and less important. Why? With AI, everything can be searched. 10 years ago, it was Google and Wikipedia. And AI now can even collaborate with the team. So if you have a team of 1 person to 3 people, you can use AI and make something really big, where traditionally a team of 20 people's job. Okay, so knowledge. And if you want to do university, then the knowledge you want to do is something that cannot be done by a 3 months degree online, right? That's the point of you wasting money, or that's the point of you getting a student loan to go uni, because it will be too painful to do it later on in your career. Make sense? Good. That's why you do university. You're using the uni to springboard your career. And then that leads to the second thing, which is really what skills you're gonna get. Right? And skills, there's no good or bad. Skills is what you like to equip yourself with. It's like if you're gonna become a warrior, are you good at shooting arrows or killing with a machete or a knife? The weapon, which weapon you prefer to hold? Because they all weigh on you, hey? So when you walk for days, you don't want a clumsy weapon. So what weapon you want to carry with you? And you wouldn't mind to carry them because you so get used to use the weapon, right? So same, you don't want the knowledge to become burden, but more about how to use it. Either to make you feel good or to make you get money. It doesn't matter the purpose. You can pick a purpose, but it's all about how to carry the weapon. Not for sake of carrying, but to use it. And that means that the weapon or the skill should be transferable. Meaning that, let's say, a Bachelor of Science bracket biology to me would be quite broad and transferable. Why? Knowing how the body works, when you graduate, you can do many jobs, very broad. You can go private, you can go government job, and you can do medical related, and it keeps your options open, especially when you're still not very clear what you're gonna do. So that's the study can help you to keep options open, and that's very important. So your university is not just to wait and delay, not to allow you to keep sitting on the fence, but to invest time to gain knowledge that actually doesn't become heavy to carry, but more to use, right? And to use it requires the skills, right? So you gotta think about, if you're good at shooting arrows, there's no point of carrying a hammer, and vice versa. That's about it. And the last area to think about will be, that's probably the least important for now. And you don't need to think too much, because the more you think, the more worrisome you become, is practicality, right? Think practically. So how long is gonna take the uni degree? 3 years or 5 years? I think often people don't want to spend too long, but actually, lots of things are counterintuitive. Compared to 3 years, I would think a 5 year would be worth spending because it gives you a quite solid foundation. That's just an example, right? I'm just saying often when you think from many perspectives. And what's true may often comes as counterintuitive. What? Oh, what? I always think that way. This way? That can't be. What? So how many years you are doing, and how much debt you are going to give yourself, and how long it's going to give you to pay off the debt, and what's the lifestyle of the work. Do you do office work or do you become a freelancer? What kind of risk? Are you going to be very employable, like can apply a job and get a job? Or do you have to work remotely, like going to a mining site? The mining site pays excellent. But depends on what's the stage of your life is at, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's the practicality side. It's worth to think about it. But as I said, don't think too much yet. It's too early. Okay, so if I can summarize that. So first thing to think, it's about you, me. And how to think is to look at the recent activities. And the second thing to think about is about the general areas of study. Applied science, right? Or applied, what do you call applied art or applied social science, right? And then the third thing is to think about knowledge and skills. See my email about core skills, because the core skills is always about dealing with people. Always. Doesn't matter whether you are a social psychologist or a mathematician or scientist, always of that, always people. People. Not cats, people. And fourth would be think about practicalities, right? Okay, that's about it. So take some more time. Be silent and let answers come to you when you are calm. This will be a worthwhile exercise, especially in your busy schedule. Okay, 19 minutes. I'm good.